Are you not entertained? The New York Knicks have triumphed over the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs, right? We won. We won, y'all. We won. But what did we win? Did you win something? I don't recall seeing any numbers appear in my banking account. I don't recall receiving any trophies. I am from here. I was born in New York City. Okay. You don't get any more New York than I am. And I, my friends, my darlings, I'm deeply, deeply embarrassed that we get this amount of buy-in, this much emotion, this much support, people in the streets, people hugging strangers, right? People yelling at like they just won the lottery and had the best orgasm of their entire life all at once. Why? Because of the outcome of the literal Circus Maximus, the greatest spectacle that they have for us. And at a time when we just got our first fucking trillionaire. Are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed that we respond like this to what? To a bunch of millionaires playing a game to make a bunch of billionaires more money? And guess what? I shared a thing about this a little bit ago. Over 80% of the money that NBA owners donate to political causes goes to Republican causes. And spare me the Democrats versus Republicans. We all know they have the same donors, yes, but donating specifically to explicitly right-wing causes with your money, with your attention. Okay? Now, it would be one thing, maybe, if these teams actually belonged to the places that they're supposedly from, right? Like if to be on the New York Knicks, you had to actually be from New York, right? And maybe that would mean something, you know? If the money that went to the stadiums went back into the community instead of out into the pockets of billionaires, maybe that would mean something, right? If it was a group of teams run by and staffed by and chosen by the people to benefit the people, where the money for the jerseys, where the money for the hats, where the money for the tickets, where the money for the fucking $25 glizzies, right? With all that money, any of it, really, went back to the communities that these stadiums displaced to be put there, first of all. But if the money went back to the people, sure, maybe, but it doesn't. But it doesn't, right? And the worst part is that sports and the spectacle of sports, right? The spectacle of sports as it is currently constituted by this overculture, it does so many things all at once, right? It takes attention. And what it does, the thing that I find most insidious, and you can see it, you can feel it. Mistrix and I were talking about this the other day, but you can feel in the air the palpable collection of energies sent towards this egregore that is the NBA, that is, you know, the finals, right? You can see how much people care about it and how much it unites them. And there's a part of you that wants to be swept up in it and is like, well, maybe I should just pick a team and root for the team because everyone else seems to be having such a good time doing it. And guess what? They're fucking hacking you because we're a social species. We are meant to want to be in each other's company, to feel each other's joys, share in those joys, you know, in small groups and in large groups. Sure. But it's been hacked. This does not benefit you. And what's more, instead of paying attention to any of the things that have been going on, a lot of y'all have been paying attention to the Circus Maximus, to this spectacle. Are you entertained? Are you embarrassed? I personally am the latter and not the former. Right? The worst part is that a lot of people on the vague left, you know, whatever we want to call it, will call everything a distraction. Everything's a distraction. Politics is a distraction. Voting is a distraction. The Epstein files are a distraction from the laws they're passing, which are a distraction from the Epstein files, which are a distraction from the SCOTUS, which are a distraction from the AI problem. Everything's a fucking distraction. But the literal distraction, the actual distraction, y'all don't clock it. Y'all don't clock it. That's what it's for. The NFL, the NBA, the MLB. And listen, for those of y'all that aren't into sports, the Grammys, the Tonys, the Oscars, I say this stuff all the time. These are the things they have taken stuff that belongs to us. Sport, love of, fisticuffs and love of getting our bodies in there and watching people be great at things. I will watch any highlight reel from any sport ever because I like watching people do cool things. I like it. Why wouldn't I? Right? It's really entertaining and it's really amazing to see what the human animal is capable of when it has been given the money and the time and the location, all of these to develop the talents that it has, right? And all of these stories about people getting out of the hood, air quotes, by joining one of these major league teams. Never mind that for every one person who actually gets on one of these teams, there's how many tens of thousands that never will. That will just give money to these billionaires. Now, again, I fully support in the future, in a world beyond capitalism, I actually fully support leagues, sports leagues. I'm not against sports. I've said this before. I am a fairly kinetic person. I mean, for me, it's dance and martial arts personally, but I've played most sports in my life and I will play just about any sport right now. You want to get a Frisbee, you want to throw, you want to get some mitts and a ball and throw them. Let's do it. I'm literally down. Okay. Badminton, volleyball. Sure. It's all fantastic, but you're getting fucking played. Everything's a distraction except for the literal distraction. Ancient Rome, the Circus Maximus. And yes, it's not necessarily people stabbing each other up or being ate by lions. Okay. But in the case of the NFL, let's not talk about how fucked up they're getting every time these two 250-pound dudes crash into each other. Right? And why are y'all letting your fucking kids play football? Deadass. Dude, don't let your fucking kids play football. Come on now. Now, football, I got beef with because it literally gives people CTE. It just, hello. Rugby's safer than football because they don't have that same line where it's just crashing into each other. Anyway, we need to start being embarrassed by the behavior around sports. We need to really interrogate it deeply. And quick, right? Because now also a lot of people spent, whatever, all the games of the finals. That was their social engagement time, right? I personally do not have a lot of energy for big socializing. So if it was the choice between, I'm going to go to this rally, I'm going to try and get some supplies out to Delaney Hall, I'm going to do something with my organizing group, or I'm going to go to the bar and watch the big game because everyone's going to be there and it's going to be great. And the air is going to be positively electric with people's joy that I can share in. And I want to be part of that. Sure. But guess what? They just sucked out energy that should have been used for revolutionary fervor. And not a damn one of us needs to be told why. That's a problem. We all know why. But people will glaze over. Their eyes glaze over and they're like, yeah, you're right. It's kind of like when you tell them they should still be wearing a mask. Oh, yeah, it's so good that you do that. Oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I probably should do that too. But meanwhile, their eyes are glazed over and they're not going to fucking do it. Why? Because we've been hacked. The desire to fit in has a place, right? Even as a, I'm not a nonconformist for the sake of being a nonconformist. I mean, I'm kind of a loner, and I like to think for myself. Absolutely. But at this stage in my life, at least when I was younger, yes, I would I would sometimes just, buck the system and do something different than everyone else was doing just for the sake of it. Sure. But I've interrogated that instinct, and I found what's good and what's bad about it. And what's good about it, you need to be able to stand alone, to stand outside if what everybody else is doing is bad, wrong, or fucking foolish. That's what it's for. And a lot of y'all can't do that. Right? It's fine to like the popular song that everybody likes, Again, or younger me, absolutely not, right? But now I'm like, I don't care if it's popular. If it bangs, I'm going to listen to it. If the new fucking William Eyelash song is good, I'm going to listen to it. I don't care if Billy's popular or not. I don't care. What I care about is, do I like it? And here's the other thing. A lot of people who are out there watching these games, participating in all the group stuff, don't even really like it. They're not even actually down. They just don't want to be left out. You've been hacked. And you should be embarrassed. Because in building community, in doing the things that are required to actually build community, you need to ignore the spectacle and focus on the practical, right? Now, there's a practical purpose to creating stadiums, actually, and gymnasiums and stuff. But of course, the people should have access. They shouldn't just be for an elite few who are chosen by, you know what I mean? They should belong to the people. A lot of the stuff that we have, we would keep. It just would belong to the people. And of course, obviously consider, there's some things we wouldn't build certain places because we would be listening to indigenous wisdom and taking the land as an important consideration in everything else, obviously. But beyond that, a lot of the stuff we could keep. It's just who owns it. Who's it good for? What is it actually doing? What is it actually promoting? Right? The NBA gives to some of the most racist causes there are. And yet it's full of black men, right? This country is racist as hell, y'all. Y'all know that. I mean, look at all the laws that are being passed now, right? In a country that wasn't this deeply racist, the stuff that's going on right now just in the South and soon coming to a state near you, that wouldn't fucking be happening. People would be out in the streets like they were for the fucking Knicks. Being like, absolutely not. Think about what it would be like. And here's, I gotta say this, okay? Win or lose, y'all sports people be rioting. I'm like... really, if nothing is more clear that it's just a release valve for the energy of humankind, it's that. And guess what you won't hear on the news or from your neighbor? All those rioters and looters, we need law and order, okay? We need law and order. It's very akin to when, for example, you get a Brock Turner who essays someone behind a fucking dumpster, and the judge is like, boys will be boys, right? But you get a young black boy or a black teenager defending himself and dies justified, right? This country is so deeply fucked up, and y'all play into it. Whenever you give your money, whenever you give your attention to the spectacles of empire, you help them win, because it's all magic, darlings, right? And it's the kind of practical magic that I believe in and that I practice. Praxis is magic, right? Attention is magic. They know this. They know this. They love it that folks are out in the street rioting and looting because of the outcome of a sports match. That's why they let it happen. Yeah, get it out, kids. Get all that energy out. Wasn't that great to watch your team win? The biggest, best city in the world. Your team finally won after years. Isn't everybody so happy? Make sure to stop by Starbucks on the way home. Make sure when you want to get a sign, make sure you stop by the Staples, get you some big poster board, get you some nice new markers. They probably got a deal at that Staples. Oh, and ladies, don't forget, Sephora's probably got a special deal on orange and blue makeup. Do a little touch for the Knicks when you go out. They got you. You got played. The actual distraction. Right? Because guess what? Politics are not ever a distraction. Right? It's really happening. So as a person who votes in every single election, I vote in every single election because that's a real thing that's happening. I don't believe in the American system at all. As you know, we're talking about building community in general, to be anti-capitalist, to follow the 12 values, to upend the existing system. However, the rules of the current game are such that the voting process does something, right? It does something. Whether that something is legitimate, good, bad, evil, negative, it's all of those things. I mean, let's be honest, right? But it does something. So sitting out is not, delegitimizing the system. You have a social security number. You've been counted, babe, right? So we'll get into that at another time. But the spectacle of things is what really be getting y'all in a chokehold. I swear by all the gods, I really, really wish that every time you wear a jersey, of one of these teams, and you're just thinking like, oh, that's my team. I'm from there. Oh, that's my team. I really like this one player who's probably not from the place of the team that they're on. That's owned by somebody who definitely ain't from there. And somebody who's probably dropping hard RN words about every single one of their players that they treat like pawns when they buy and sell them from place to place and prevent them from ever talking about anything important. Don't you ever say anything important. Don't wear a jersey that says I can't breathe on it, or you will be kicked out of the stadium, maybe the team, and you'll lose millions and you'll lose everything if you actually talk about the conditions of your life. The conditions that would actually help you with the eyes of millions on you. If you talk about those things, you're out on your ass. Colin Kaepernick. Y'all, don't forget that they won with Colin Kaepernick. They silenced him. And they silenced not only him, but every other professional sports player. The idea was to make an example of him, and they succeeded. Because now sports is where you can go at the NBA finals, right? At bars all across the country, especially right here in NYC, right? Pro-Palestine, anti-Zionists were sitting right next to their liberal Zionist neighbors. Everybody cheering, slapping hands, high-fiving, hugging, crying in the streets with joy. With people you have no fucking business talking to or dealing with. And some people like to say, like, that's a great thing. It's unity. No, it's you being subsumed into the overculture. You got. You got distracted. You got played. Right? Going along to get along is a thing that a lot of people don't do anymore in some ways. A lot more people are willing to stand up and say this government's wrong, ICE is wrong, etc., etc. But then, in the sports match, when the big final comes, you're standing next to an ICE officer and you're both high-fiving about whatever fucking player you both enjoy. Isn't it nice that we can just put all those politics aside, all those messy politics, let's just put that aside for now and just get into this game. Let's just watch the game. Watch the game, y'all. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Don't worry. Don't worry about the $1 trillion. Don't worry about Delaney Hall. Don't worry about your rights and your water and your land being taken away from you. Don't worry about that. You've got the big game. And isn't it nice to just for once get to stand like neighbors and friends? Even if it's somebody who likes the other team, we can all come together and enjoy it. You should be fucking embarrassed. In the next segment, we're going to talk about the practical and why someone like Zoran Mamdani is not a distraction. But, and I'm going to say this and I really need you to hear this, okay? Supporting a politician conditionally, voting, whatever, it is not a betrothal. And it's also not a betrayal, right? Because of celebrity, because of the way we are taught to shut off our minds and blindly support our faves when it comes to music, sports, all of the spectacles of empire, we treat politicians the same way, right? We're going to talk a little bit more about the practical during the closing, when I speak in the closing. But for now, we're going to go right into, of course, the weather report. Astrological weather report with our very own Alice Pope.